Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. So, it's been a busy holiday season and I haven't had a chance to bash the Pinephone much lately, especially with the poor support for Broadcom products. I'll do that in a separate video. But hey, first of all, I'd like to talk about the security vulnerability in the Pinephone. Um, who's fixing it, and when will it be ready? Um, this is this is a real showstopper for the phone altogether. Let me just brief you on the details. So this is from pardon me, hackaday.com. Pinephone malware surprises users, raises questions. So first of all, um, you never download and install anything without testing it in a lab first. That's always been my policy, and that applies to everything, including the Pinephone. I would never take a game from somebody I don't know, install it on my phone, and the people who did, you're the stupid ones. Of course, having a Pinephone already qualifies you as already being stupid, so you're just more stupid now. Anyway, I'm not going to be stupid any longer, that's for sure. So let's read about this. So, what are our options? The gist of advice given out to newcomers is don't install random software you can't trust, and I just commented on that. While this is good advice on its own, you'd be right to point out a game shouldn't be able to wipe your system, and or get better users generally isn't a viable strategy. So yeah. Wipe your system. That's nice. Where's my patch, guys? Any security strategist in denial about inherent human fallibility is not going to make it in the modern world. Absolutely. Test it in a lab first. Make sure you know what you got. And of course, look at the source code if it's available to you. So let's see what we can do besides the usual educate users part, as usual. Well, that's a very important part because they're the ones that you can't patch. Anyway, even being able to write an arbitrary user-owned file on a Linux system is game over. That's for sure. While sandboxing solutions are being developed to solve these kind of problems, the work is slow and the aspects of it are non-trivial, generally best described as dynamic and complex whitelisting. Yeah, so we know that's never going to happen because they can't get the Pinephone flashlight to work as a phone yet. So let alone patching this problem. A piece of commonly handed out IT advice is if you can't read the code and understand what it does, don't run it. That's good advice. And I really like the wipe the firmware for the cellular modem feature of this malware. You Kool-Aid drinkers and you Apple people, the day is coming where you'll no longer be malware free, and you gotta stop thinking that you're safe because you're not using Windows. No one is safe, and that will become evident as time passes. Okay, so enough about more flaws in Pinephone, which won't get fixed, and it will never be more than a flashlight. I want to talk about. I want to bring on the wall of shame for ZDNet.com and then their article about Pinephone Pro. Headline: Time for a Linux smartphone. Here comes the Pinephone Pro Explorer Edition, and under that it says the Linux Pinephone Pro gives Linux fans an escape from mid-range Android smartphones. Well, it's the usual lie, and of course, if you scroll way down in the text, way down at the bottom after they told you how great it is, the Pinephone Pro Explorer Edition is aimed at Linux developers with extensive knowledge of embedded systems and our experience with mobile Linux. Well, you don't need that to do Android. Why would you mention Android if it doesn't work like Android? Again, disingenuous all the way through. And this is the Pinephone marketing strategy. Lie up top, give the truth buried down below or on a second page, and hope nobody notices till you got their money. And they continue with that business model. And soon soon the government will be coming to put a stop to it. And the next victim is makeuseof.com, Pinephone Pro Linux phone. Is the Pinephone Pro the Linux phone daily driver we've been waiting for? Well, and of course they go through the spiel. Oh, it's got all this great hardware, it's got all these improvements, it makes a great tablet, it does everything, the flashlight is impressive, and it has a battery, and then down at the bottom, after you've read all the great stuff about it and you're already sold on it, is the Pinephone capable enough to be a daily driver? The Pinephone Pro has come a long way since the original Pinephone. No, it hasn't, because it's still a flashlight. With all its hardware upgrades, this upcoming smartphone, upcoming my ass, never going to happen. Definitely has the raw processing capabilities to work as a daily driver. However, hardware isn't the only thing that makes a phone worth daily driving. Even Pine64 themselves admit that the software side of the phone still has a long way to go. It's too bad they didn't admit that with the original Pinephone in clear language that everyone can understand rather than being disingenuous about it. Optimizations still have to be completed, and many more applications need to be developed for regular smartphone users to appreciate a Linux phone. If you're just a regular user looking for a phone that makes your life easier and simpler, then the phone is not for you. But if you're a security specialist, what the hell would a security specialist want to do with a phone that doesn't work? I am one, and I certainly have no use for it in its current state. A hardcore Linux enthusiast, well, if you want to play around with it, that's your prerogative. But stop calling it a phone, because it's not a phone; it's a flashlight. Flashlight tablet is the best description I can give you for it. If you're a tinkerer or a developer, then the Pinephone Pro as a daily driver definitely worth considering. Well, this term of daily driver is thrown around so much. If it's a daily driver, all its functions must work. Otherwise, it's not a daily driver. So stop calling it one. Makeuseof.com. It's a dream that will never come true. And now the malware is coming, which will put all the nails in the coffin for the Pinephone. It's still a piece of crap. We're going to proceed with the Pinephone action, and we're going to see the federal government haul these assholes into court and make them pay for what they've done to us. Mark my words. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.